What up, what up, what up? Thank you for tuning in to hashtag kyamsthoughts. Thank you to all my subscribers. To those who didn't subscribe, please subscribe. Please hit the like button, share. If you want to talk about anything, go ahead, write a comment. Email me, whatever you want to talk about, we could discuss it. Today I'm going to be talking about who was the first human beings on this earth. I see a lot of YouTube videos on this, where life began and blah, 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 blah. But who I'm going to talk about today is who were the first human beings on this earth. Now, a lot of people say the first human beings on this earth, a lot of people say the first human beings on this earth were Adam and Eve. According to my studies, Adam and Eve was not the first human beings on this earth, but in fact, they was the first human beings whom God gave a name. He actually named that man Adam, and he named that woman Eve. And this is how I justify my theory, my thought on this. When Lucifer, a.k.a. the devil, a.k.a. Satan, fell from heaven, he took a third of heaven with him. Those fallen angels, a.k.a. demons, fell to the earth. When they fell to the earth, everything that was on the earth, every living creature, every two-legged beast, four-legged beast, whatever it was on this earth, they manipulated. They immediately attacked. They immediately tried to dismantle whatever was on this earth. See, a demon's job is to destroy and confuse, and not in that order. Confuse and destroy. This is where you get these stories about David and Goliath. You know, this is where you get these stories about giants. Where you get these stories about even dinosaurs. You know, this is when you get these stories about Zeus, Hercules, these guys. Now, let me back up. These guys that we see in these movies, that they portray in these movies, that such as Zeus and Hercules and what's his name, Poseidon and Apollo, all of that, I believe they did exist. And I believe these guys were sons of demons. Because in the Bible, God says, do not place any other gods before me. A lot of people are going to say, well, what God means in that is, don't put that car before me because that's a god. No, that's not a god. That's an idol. And idolatry is a totally different thing than gods, you know. God said, don't put any other gods before me. I am a jealous God. These things, they existed. They was on this earth. This is why the flood came to cleanse the earth of these things. But they was actually on the earth. They was here. They was running around. It was all kinds of beings. It was just a freak show on earth. But then God said that he wanted to make a being after his own image, you know. What his own image is, just look at yourself in the mirror. Look at me. Look at yourself. We are God's own image. So who's to say that those other beings may have had 3 arms or 2 legs, whatever, 3 legs, 4 heads, who knows? But he made us after his own image. And when I say us, I mean the descendants of Adam. And Adam, he gave the name Adam. So those other creatures didn't have a name, but he gave Adam a name. And then he seen Adam was lonely and he needed a helpmate. So he took a rib and created Eve. A lot of people don't believe in it. These are my thoughts. This is my belief. He created Eve. He told them one thing. They can have paradise. You can have everything. They was walking and talking with the animals. You know, they was eating the fruits. They was eating fresh fruit out the everything. I mean, it was no such thing as disease. It was no such thing as sin in this garden. All you have to do is not eat from the tree of life. Some people call it an apple tree. Some people call it a fig tree. It's the tree of life. Whatever it was, don't eat from it. First thing Eve did was let the serpent tempt her, and she ate from it. But it doesn't matter if Eve ate from it. God did not give the word to Eve, but he gave the word to Adam. He said, Adam, don't you eat from that tree. See, Adam told Eve not to eat from it. It ain't matter what Eve did, but he told her not to. But God told Adam directly, don't eat from that tree. Eve eats from the tree, convince Adam to eat from the tree, all hell breaks loose. Sin is introduced. And that sin that introduced came even through their children, which their son Cain killed their son Abel. Now, this is where it comes to knowing that Adam and Eve was not the first humans on this earth, or the first beings on this earth. After Cain killed his brother Abel, God told him, now I'm going to mark you across your forehead. He said, I'm going to mark you so that everyone else knows that you sinned, so that everyone knows you broke my law. Now, if he was marking Cain from everyone else, who was everyone else? If only Adam and Eve existed and their family, who was everyone else? So just that line right there lets you know it was other beings. But these beings wasn't made after the image and likeness of God. So these beings, guess what? They still exist, these beings. They have their whole bloodline, because when Cain left the garden, he went and he got married. And Cain had children. Cain had children. Now those offspring was totally different from the offspring that came from Adam's kids. Abel was dead. His son Seth was born. Seth eventually married, had children. Back then it wasn't incestuous. You know, they was producing for the world. You know, so they was having kids here. Now Cain left and had kids there, but these kids that Cain had, they was the offspring and the product of the fallen angels, demons. How I back up that is also, even if you look at the Egyptian hieroglyphics written in the pyramids, you often see pictures of beings, human figures with animal heads, animals with human faces. All this can be explained just by saying when the demons fell, they had multiple relations with different creations on this earth. They went crazy. And some of them was gods, because remember, Lucifer also had powers. Satan has powers also. He was number one angel in heaven. The powerfulest, the most powerful, the most glorious, the most beautiful. It got to the point where he thought he was bigger than God. So he left and he took a third of heaven with him. That third was all demons. They turned into demons when they fell. He was also a god. So what did the devil do? What did Lucifer do? What does Satan do? They try to create their own set of beings. And this is where you get the line of the Antichrist. And anti just means the opposite of. So here you have the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. The angel sitting here, the devil sitting here, all whispering into the ears of the original man, Adam. The first people God gave a name, because we was made after his image and his likeness. We special. You're special. So yes, we are kings. We are son of kings. We are princes that grow into kings. You know, we're gods. But there's only one true and living God. And that was the problem with Lucifer, aka the devil, aka Satan. He thought he can come down here and create what he wanted and be just as big as God. And as crazy as things look, it almost looked like he got it accomplished. But as long as there's knowledge out here and you can do research, you know, then the truth can always be uncovered. So again, what I want to say is the first human beings on this planet that God gave a name was Adam and Eve. Everything else was irrelevant. Everything else wasn't made after his own image, is going to fall. Anyway, thank you for subscribing. Got any questions? Please ask. Hit the like button. Leave whatever comments you want to. And again, I'm out. Kyam Thoughts. New video coming soon. Thank you.